Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Pokemon White 2. I'm your PokeGamer. In the last episode, we took on the gym leader and made our way out here towards the Celestial Tower because we were asked to look for Professor Juniper. So we're going to go ahead and do that today. We're also going to climb Celestial Tower, get all the items that are lying around, battle all the trainers for the experience, and then we'll be making our way back to Marriland so we can get to the airport and do whatever we need to do there. But yeah, so that's basically more or less what we're going to be doing today. So, there's that. When you talk to Professor Juniper, she will give you a lucky egg, which is always a nice item to have, especially in Generation 6, considering the EXP shard becomes a key item in Generation 6, adding experience to every Pokemon, as well as the fact that the lucky egg also boosts the amount of experience a Pokemon gets, which is always nice. But yeah. I don't know if I want to change up my lead here. I know Electric has Crunch. I forgot that Zangoose was with us. I probably should have changed up to Samurott, but oh well. Anyways, considering it's about a minute in, for those of you who do not already know, for everyone in North America, the Special Pokeball Villain pattern is currently being distributed to Pokemon X and Y titles. This online distribution is only available for a very short amount of time, starting from, I'm assuming it's starting today, until August 12th, so be sure to download it while you can. So, yeah, I think basically all the major parts of the world now have the villain, which is kind of nice, I suppose. It can have either Shield Dust or Compound Eyes, any nature, which means you can reset it. It comes with the moves Stun Spore, Gust, Light Screen, and Struggle Bug. So that's kind of cool. Why not? That's kind of I think the very last villain form that we need to get, because I think there was just those two that were hidden, and then the other things that were revealed alongside them were the Eternal Flower Florette and like Volcanium Hoop. Diane Seed, which Diane Seed is officially released, which is cool. So those are all things, I guess. The funny part is, like in here, basically rolls me completely. I have a normal move, a fighting move, and ice doesn't really do much. So yeah, those are it's kind of a thing. That's part of the reason why I said I should have switched over to Samurott as a lead. That way I could, just have something that hits from neutral for basically everything in here, which is always nice to have. But yeah. Also, I don't remember if I mentioned this or not, but the start date for this was August 1st. There was a shiny, Jirachi event that went live. I think you get it in in one of the Pokemon centers in Japan, which is, I guess, a thing. I don't know. It can be any nature. It does have the ability to Serene Grace. It comes with the moves Wish, Swift, Healing Wish, and Moonblast. Okay, this is actually a thing because it comes with Moonblast, which otherwise it doesn't normally get, which is just absolutely amazing to have considering it's Steel typing. Of course, I don't think that people usually run Jirachi as a special attacker. It's more like a physical type of thing. But it does have 100 in every stat. It's basically, Generation 3's Mew. The thing is you can run things, I think, like Flash Cannon. I think it gets Flash Cannon. I am not entirely sure. Moonblast, which is always nice to have. So, you have a good fairy move. You have Flash Cannon for a steel move. You have things like Psychic for, your Psychic Stab, and, things like that. But a lot of people tend to prefer the whole Body Slam, Iron Head type of thing. Going for the Parahax with Body Slam, then, Flinch Hacks with Iron Head, which is always kind of a fun little gimmick that it can do. But, I don't know. I feel like a special attacking Jirachi is also a viable option. Doing Wish and then those other 3 attacking moves would be really nice with leftovers. But I guess it's just me. I just feel like it would be viable. But I don't know. I kind of miss the days when Jirachi was actually a very good Pokemon. It used to see so much play, and now it just doesn't really see very much play at all, which sucks. But I don't know, maybe that's just me being kind of picky, just because, you know, Jirachi's actually one of my favorite Pokemon next to, what's it called, Glaceon. Glaceon's always been kind of my favorite Pokemon, and the fact that Jirachi isn't like played all that much anymore kind of saddened me, just because, again, it's one of my all-time favorite Pokemon. I'm kind of hoping that the American, like English, whatever games, they all get some kind of Jirachi event at some point. And I think that on some of the early fakes for Mega Evolutions, Jirachi was one of the ones rumored to get one. I'm not entirely sure, I could be wrong, but yeah, I mean, it's something that I think a lot of people would really want, especially if it's going to be a shiny one, but I don't know. I mean, like, I really wanted to have my shiny one that I got. It was, I think a GameStop event one, or something like that. I can't remember. The trainer name was like GAMSTP, or something like that. I have a shiny one that's like, I think it's, the event I think is like level 5. And it was possible to reset, I think, for that to be a shiny, but, or RNG abuse it to be a shiny. I can't really remember entirely how it works, but it is something that you can legitimately get, and for some reason, even if they're legitimate, there's something about them that makes them impossible to transfer up to X and Y for whatever reason. Yet some people have actually managed to make, like, help them get through. I could be wrong, but I mean, maybe their power saved them to be shiny. I don't really know, but like there have been people that have like they've said, you know, I managed to get this up, so it is possible, but at the same time it's very difficult or whatever. I'm not entirely sure if there have been people that have great confusion. Yeah, I'm not sure like, how people have actually done it. Assuming there is, of course, a legitimate way to actually, you know, do it. But I mean, it's just something that I think that a lot of people are gonna want. And when Bank came out, there was a lot of people that really wanted their shiny Jirachis, including myself, and they decided to kind of screw everyone out of that. But I guess there's nothing you can really do about that outside of getting power save and just changing one of your own personal ones over to a shiny, which I guess is a thing. But at the same time, it's basically cheating in the game, and obviously people don't want you doing that. So I don't know. I mean, it's great and all, but at the same time, I don't know. I personally don't really like editing my Pokemon like that. I mean, I used to do that for my competitive teams whenever it came to Black and White and Black and White 2, just because EV training them and keeping track of their EVs and all that other crap, it was a lot of work, really. I mean, you had to either collect a whole bunch of the EV wings, like have 252 for whatever stats you wanted to give, and then you had to have 4 for the remaining stat that you wanted to get 4 in, or, you know, things like that. And it was just really time consuming. I don't think there was even an easy way to EV train in that game. The easiest way, I think, that might have been double battles, assuming that you were lucky enough to find one that had 2 of the same Pokemon, or 2 Pokemon with the same EV output. So, I don't know. Black and White 2 were very difficult to EV train. You had to keep good track of it, and you needed something, well, okay, either you needed to keep like very good track of what you were adding to it, like a calculator, and just have to like remember to keep pressing the +1 every time you actually get a +1 in your stat or whatever. And most people don't have the attention span to keep remembering to do it, so it's a huge pain in the ass. But the thing that I used back in the day was PokeCheck, just because you could change over the DNS settings for your internet on your DS, and you could just send them straight to PokeCheck, and you could see the current EV spread there. That's the thing that I used to use. These days, if you really wanted to, if you're capable of ripping your save file, like if you have an R4 or something, you can extract your save file and use something like PokeGen for it. I know that in X and Y there is a way to actually check your EVs and everything through the new version of PokeGen, but it can't, like you can't, okay, a lot of people will be like, oh great, a new PokeGen, let's use that. As far as I know, you can't use it to put the Pokemon into your game yet. Into your game yet. Sorry, my voice kind of started going, woo, for whatever reason. But yeah, as far as I know, you can't put them into your game yet. You can only like edit their files and save them for whatever reason, and then just like, okay, that's fine, I edited it, now I can't put it on my game. The thing is it's possible to at least see what your EVs are, see what your IVs are, like if you, especially when it comes to eggs, the whole shiny value thing is still a thing. I actually use that personally for competitive Pokemon, but when it comes to things like the random shinies that I've gotten, like the what's it called, the Spiritomb, the Oshawott, stuff like that, they were all either unexpected or I was just running around trying to, you know, just like, okay, hopefully I get a shiny. But like whenever it comes to competitive stuff, I do try to use the whole shiny value thing, just that way it's faster for me to have a sparkly, special, shiny, competitive Pokemon. I've done that recently with Petilil. I've done that with Mareep for Mega Ampharos. What else have I done it for? Bulbasaur, Feebas, I think maybe one or two, and Beldum. Because I have Beldum prepared for when Mega Metagross is the thing. So I mean, I have that prepared for that. I just have to EV train it and level it up, of course. But like the whole trainer shiny value thing is still a thing, and it's useful for getting your competitive shinies. But I don't usually use it for like actually, you know, oh hey, shiny. Like I don't do that. I mean, anyone who does is pretty like whatever. But I use it for my competitive shinies. I use it to try and find a 6 IV Pokemon. Like if I'm hatching eggs trying to get a 6 IV, it's sometimes useful to just extract all the eggs, like from my save file, put them into the thing. It's a program called KeySave. I can put it in there, dump the box from my save file, and then I can see everything that's in the box. I can see all their EVs, their, or not the EVs, but the IVs, their ability, their gender, the shiny value, of course, stuff like that. Whenever I'm trying to breed for just like a random 5 IV shiny, I like to have a 6 IV at least, in like 2 6 IV parents, and instead of going collect 5, hatch 5, go to the judge, have him say, oh well, this Pokemon has whatever, and be disappointed about it. I can fill up like 2 boxes full of eggs, find whichever 6 IVs has everything else that I might want, like a hidden ability or whatever. Then I can go to my actual game, pinpoint which egg that was from KeySave, move that egg somewhere else, and then hatch everything else that I don't want. Release those, and then I'll have my 6 IV that I can then use to just randomly breed for a 5 IV shiny that I might want or whatever. It's also just good for having to breed competitive Pokemon, whether it be for those trainer shiny value things, so I have one for my own personal use, or you know, things like that. So I mean, having the whole shiny value thing is useful, but a lot of people don't realize that it's still a thing. It's better to do it with a digital copy. If anyone wants me to, I can actually do a tutorial on it. It's not hard, but yeah, I guess I should stop rambling about random shit, because it doesn't really have anything to do with this game. As I said in the last episode, there's a trainer up on that other side towards the left. If you walk in front of him, he will rematch you, and it's like everyone just assumes it's the easier place to go through whenever it comes to going, you know, back and forth through the route. But I recommend you go up on the little balance beam. Just kind of throwing it out there. Anyways, considering we're almost out of time, and what we're going to be doing once we get into the airport, it's going to take a lot longer than more than 15 minutes. So in the next episode, we're going to be going ahead and starting off the episode with that, and doing everything else that we need to do after that, which is several different things. So yeah, be sure to stay tuned for that. If you haven't already, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and until next time, this is the PokeGamer signing out.